Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals One Piece chapter reviews. Today, One Piece chapter 800, and if you haven't seen the live reaction yet to the chapter in this corner right here. Now, this week's chapter One Piece is actually very straightforward, very simple, and it is monumental. But I don't think, from a personal standpoint, I don't think the chapter is as impactful as the last chapter. Because in the last chapter, Luffy getting the chance to command 5,600 men was something that came out of left field. Like, it was like, what the fuck just happened? And in this chapter, you could already anticipate that Luffy was going to probably say yes, even though I want him to say no, and he kind of did say no, but it didn't really fucking matter because he changed the system up. It wasn't some parent-child thing. It's complete amnesty, and I'll get into that later. And when that was revealed, they said, they meaning, Hideo, Cavendish, Bartolomeo, and the rest, they said, alright, fine. You don't have to do the Sake Cups. We'll do it ourselves. Sake Cups. Yeah, we're all Straw Hat underlings. And then that's it. So, the chapter is monumental. But, again, the shock value, I think, is not there. Only because the purpose of the chapter is not really to shock you. It's more so like a ribbon over the package. It's icing on the cake with a cherry on top. It is the solidification of what was going to happen. It is the solidification. I can't say the word. It is the solidification sheet. I ain't editing that shit out. I don't give a fuck. And the confirmation of what we already knew was going to happen based on the previous chapter. Done. Now, no takes. Fuck it. One take wonder mode. Now, here's the thing. Also in the chapter, that I think is very important. In fact, you know what? I'll say this. I think this is the best part of the chapter. Is the fact that we are now leaving Dressrosa. That honestly I think is the best part. Dressrosa has been too goddamn long. Luffy and company, they're setting sail. Even Fujitora gave him a goodbye present. And they're peacing. We're gone. The only other way we're going to go back to Dressrosa is if there's some CP0 shit. Which I actually want to see. I'll stick around for like one more chapter if there's some CP0 shit. No problem there. And CP0 goes to where Don Flamingo's being in prison. And like some shit happens. I would love to see that. But if no CP0 shit, then we're done. It's moving on to Zoe, to Sanji, Nami, Brook. Imagine their faces when they find out that while they're dealing with Big Mom and Kaido and whatnot, and, Caesar Clown's bitch ass. Oh, and by the way, yeah, we have attained 5,600 men. We're ready. It's like, the fuck? Like, nutty? Jaws dropping? That's gonna be funny as fuck. So, I want to see that. I want to go over to Zoe and what's going on with Zoe. I mean, I think they're in Zoe. I'm not sure where they are, Sanji and Nami and whatnot. But, go over to Zoe. Of course, there's Wano Kuni with Kino and Momonosuke. So there's so much stuff that lies ahead. But Dressrosa has been a monumental hill that was so steep, it brung the story to an near snail's pace. The overall story, One Piece. I'm like, shit, can we move on from Dressrosa? So Dressrosa is finally over, to say the least, and we're moving on to better stuff, okay? Because the Yonko are waiting, alright? Because very powerful folks in the new world are waiting, alright? Because Raftel is waiting. Goldie, Roger is waiting. So, like, come on, let's move on. And this chapter was a good step forward, finally moving on with Dressrosa, because it's done. Now, other stuff in the chapter that I want to touch upon. So, in the chapter, they mentioned how when you have this enemy armada come in, this enemy fleet, they mentioned how, because it was weird, Manga Panda and Manga Stream have different translations, obviously, and Manga Stream was kind of funky with the whole tomfoolery and poofy. I was like, what the fuck, poofy? But there's one thing in the chapter that may allude to either Luffy's bounty or they're talking about Usopp, and I'm not too sure. So on Manga Stream, no, on Manga Panda, they say this, and I quote, this is when the Armada comes in there, the enemy Armada, and then the one guy says, I know Straw Hat Luffy's there. He's worth 5 million. Give us that man's head now. And I'm like, 5 million? Like, wait, whoa. Like, so are you telling me that Monkey D. Luffy's bounty dipped 395 mil after beating Flamingo? Nigga, you don't dip when you beat Flamingo. You don't dip. You don't dip, dog. You don't dip. Get out of here. It's crazy. And then on Manga Stream, they say, is that 500 million berry Straw Hat among you? If so, bring him forward. We'll be taking his head. So, what I find odd there is there's so many damn things. First of all, when they say 500 million berry Straw Hat, I assumed Luffy in the live reaction, but then I was informed it's probably Usopp. However, when I think about it, Usopp was given that bounty from Flamingo, and the birdcage was up when that happened. And the birdcage isolated the entire country. So no signals could reach the country, nor could they penetrate the country. So if you were inside the birdcage, you couldn't hear anything else going on outside, and vice versa. If you were outside, you couldn't hear what was going on in Dressrosa. So how is it that these folks that were outside Dressrosa knew about Usopp being worth 500 million buried? Like, I don't understand that. All communication should have been cut off from outside and inside the birdcage. So I'm confused about that. They shouldn't know about that at all. So then if that was the case, you take into consideration what Manga Panda say, I know Straw Hat Luffy's there. He is worth X amount million. But when they have 5, it's like, nah, dog, you're completely wrong. So then you take the 500 from Manga Stream, you put it on Manga Panda at 500 million. I mean, his bounty would raise given the fact that he beat Flamingo, obviously. And Flamingo being a very prominent person in One Piece who had a lot of weight to the overall story, not just in the sense of being a pirate, but also in the sense of his history as a Tenryubito. So, I mean, granted, that is a fairly big jump in bounty because he's jumped fairly high before. Like, I mean, he went from 100 to 300. So it's not that shocking, but you would figure that it becomes harder to actually raise your bounty when you reach like the 400, 500 million. So, like, I'm still confused about that. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I suppose at this point in time, I'll wait for a better translation. But right now, what's going on there, I think it's up in the wind. So either we go Manga Stream, where it's 500 million Straw Hat, and so they're talking about Usopp for some reason, even though they shouldn't know about him being worth that much via Flamingo. Or you go Manga Panda, where they're talking about Straw Luffy specifically, but the bounty number's wrong. So I don't know. I mean, there are other sites there that also do scanlations, but I only read like Manga Panda, Manga Stream, Kiss Manga, and variant sites, which normally take the translation off of Manga Stream or Manga Panda. So that's the problem there. Most of these scanlation sites, they take the translation off of Manga Stream or Manga Panda. So, I mean, there are other sites that do their own thing, like I think it's Power Manga. But Power Manga comes out like a week or two later, at the least, honestly. So, it is what it is. Now, last thing, Fujitora. Fujitora, disgusting, awesome. I mean, the fact that we have to raise the bar for Fujitora. The fact that he was able to not only lift all that rubble up for like that many, minutes, but also he amongst the rubble was the bottom half of the Pika statue. He clean sweeped the country of all of its rubble, which they could have used to like rebuild shit, but I mean, fuck it, it's Fujitora, right? For aesthetic purposes, let him do what he has to do, all right? And he created this strange weather phenomenon of falling rubble, like it was some Toriko shit, like, oh yeah, falling rubble, falling mountains, like, nigga, damn. But it's Sengoku who's behind him, like, yeah, I heard that shit, dog. I heard that, yeah. So Fujitora, I think because he reminds me of Aokiji in some ways, where his position would be like, wait, remember how Aokiji, he let Luffy off easy? He had the chance to kill Luffy because he froze him, and he was going to kick him and break him into ice pieces, but he didn't. All right, he let him go because he owed Garp, a few things here or there. And here you have Fujitora. He lets Luffy off because Luffy took out Flamingo for him. Therefore, a nice step forward into abolishing the Shichibukai system. So, Fujitora is like the modern day Aokiji at this point in time. Green Bull, haven't seen Green Bull yet. Don't know what the fuck Green Bull is doing. But in the future, we'll see how that rolls out. So, the chapter overall. I think the rating is... I think it's fair for me to say that the chapter was a great chapter. Again, huge step forward in him gaining 6,000... in him gaining 5,600 men. There you go. But at the same time, that was already easily anticipated via the last chapter. The last chapter you could see coming on the horizon. Even though I was on the bandwagon that said, no, don't do it, he did it anyway. Via not really like his own free will. And that, I think, is very important too. The fact that these guys are going to come out of nowhere to assist them whenever they so choose. And it's not like, okay, I order you guys to come here. Or like, he could do that. He could order them via Denden Mushi. But mainly, it's complete amnesty. You guys come whenever you want to. Haiduda and your giant friends, come over here for a few, island adventures. And then we'll just chill, have a party. Like, oh, there's some newspaper that says Luffy's going to have a battle against, let's say, Drake. Oh, okay, fine. Bartolomeo comes in there. He helps him out. Like, I'm here, dog. And then he stays there for like a few days and he leaves. Or, I don't know. Some shit like that. But it's like complete, utter amnesty. Complete freedom to do whatever you so choose. So maybe when they're going to Zou, you're going to have a few of them tag along. You're going to have Hideo, Bartolomeo, and Haiduda tag along. Who the fuck knows? So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But again, it's that and leaving Dressrosa. Those two are the main headway points of the story. So that alone gives it a great rating, and I'm done. So King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day.